It's the Jeremy Saller Show, BBC Radio Cambridgeshire. If you like what you hear, do pop back again. I'm here weekdays from 3 through until 5.
My goodness. Joe McElderry won the X Factor in 2009. He won Popstar, not Popestar. Popstar, that's another competition. Popstar to Opera Star. He also won The Jump, which was the Winter Olympics style celebrity competition. I mentioned this on Twitter. It has just blown the computer virtually. Exploded the response. So he'll be joining me between 3 and 5. The Jeremy Saller Show. Paula on Twitter has said, I've just come in. I'm on the internet, listening to BBC Radio Cambridgeshire. Has Joe McElderry been on the show already? Not yet. Not yet, Paula. Wait where you are.
BBC Radio Cambridgeshire.
But first, the travel news for Cambridgeshire and across our borders.
It's good to have your company here on BBC Radio Cambridgeshire, wherever you're listening. If you're new to the show, do text in. Let us know where you're listening from. 81333 is the number. Start your message, Cam, or you can tweet me at Jeremy Salis. And this is very much your show. I do stress that because it was Mags from Whittlesford here in Cambridgeshire who got in touch with the programme and said, I've just heard former X Factor winner Joe McElderry being interviewed by the great Sir Terry Wogan. Now, Joe's playing at the Cresset in Peterborough here in Cambridgeshire on Friday night this week. Can you get him on the show? I'm sure that your listeners would love him. Well, Mags, you ask and I deliver. Afternoon, Joe McElderry, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
Do you know what? I'm slightly terrified by the response that we've had on Twitter. I mentioned that I was going to be speaking to the one and only Joe McElderry. I have been inundated with questions from your loyal fans. Joe, it's a phenomenon. It's incredible.
No, they're very, very loyal. They're incredible. That's the reason I get to do this job, you know. They keep the support going and they keep, coming to the shows and buying the albums. It's down to them, really, that I'm able to do it.
Well, it's left no room for my questions, but they wouldn't be as good as your fans anyway, so I'm going to go straight into it, Joe. This is from Sandy Pandy on Twitter, and this is very up-to-date, really. Cheryl Cole is back on the X Factor. Mm-hmm. Would you be a guest mentor at the judge's house with her? And she said you'd give great advice.
Do you know, I've done a few things here and there, TV-wise, where I've been either a judge or a mentor or something like that. And I went back last year to do a mentoring session with Nicholas when he sang The Climb. So if I was asked, I would definitely consider it, but I would find it difficult to be nasty to somebody.
And what do you make to Cheryl and Simon's return to the new series?
It's good, they're great judges, and I think it'll be good to have them back on the panel, and everybody loves them, so it's fun.
There was some question about the relationship being soured between Cheryl and Simon when things didn't work out in the States because of her Geordie accent. I wondered, because you've got a lovely accent. I mean, but has it ever been suggested to you to maybe drop it a little bit?
Well, every time I've ever been over to America, everybody always says they love my accent, and go like, "Oh wow, where are you from? That's an incredible accent." And they always say, I think the Geordie accent itself is a really nice, endearing. It's quite a welcoming accent, So I've never. I mean, sometimes if I'm in London, I have to kind of round off my words, whereas normally if I was at home, I would shorten things and do the kind of slang for it. But sometimes people are like, what are you talking about? But that's more here, not in America.
What's your London accent like? What's your best London accent?
Just for example, like Geordies say quite a lot, oh, you come with us instead of with us, Or what else? I'm trying to think of something else. I tend to talk a lot faster at home, and then I have to kind of slow down a bit when I'm in London, so people understand what I'm saying.
This is from @LucyUnionJ. I can answer this question for you though. Actually, where are you most looking to perform on tour? It's obviously the Cresset in Peterborough.
Of course.
On Friday night.
Of course. The thing about this tour is I'm going to loads of different places I've never been to, which is really exciting. It's a long tour. But we're visiting lots of brand new places. But yeah, Peterborough will be fun. First time being there, Friday night, so that should be fun. And we're going all sorts of places, some places I've never even heard of before.
This is from Donna Kelders. Tomorrow is your 7th show of the Set Your Soul Alive tour. What are you enjoying most about it, and are you missing home?
I'm just actually enjoying. There's like just being on tour. There's kind of like a constant hustle and bustle going on around you. And I'm one of these people, I kind of get bored of my own company. And I just love kind of like going into the venue on the afternoon, seeing the band, the crew, my management are there. My mum does a lot of work with me, or family, friends come along sometimes with us just to keep us company. And there's always just people around, and it's just a really nice, I don't know, it's just, you just feel like a big family on the road, and I like that feeling. And I also love the kind of just the band that you have with the crowd, you know, every night. Like, you never know what's going to happen on the live show. You never know what the audience are going to be like. And it's just fun. Like, it's my favourite part of my job, just being on the road. I love it.
This is, again, on Twitter from Lorraine Brooks. Has Joe, and it's a good question following up from that one, has Joe got a camper van to take his belongings around the country as he continues on this massive tour, which starts at the start of the month and ends at the end of June?
Yes, I do have a lovely van with a big double bed in it. So I'm very fortunate. So I can almost pretty much like leave the stage door and get straight into bed if I want to do. So it's a nice little tour bus. It's a cute little thing. And it's got everything on it, toilet, kitchen. I'm very lucky. So I'm travelling in style, shall we say.
and is that where you sleep then? I thought sort of penthouse apartments in hotels.
It depends, you know, depending where we're going each night. Sometimes it's a hotel, sometimes it's, you know, if it can be an overnight drive or just a stopover. It depends where we are, you know. But it's nice for me to, last time I did a tour, I spent the whole time in hotels. And while it's great, you know, being in hotels, after a while it gets a bit like another hotel, checking in, checking out, you know. Whereas when you've got a bus with you on the road, you can kind of just live on the bus. I'm a bit of a gypsy, shall we say.
Joe, between you and me, do you help yourself to the complimentary shampoos if they're nice?
Yes, I do. Sometimes a pillow as well. A pillow never goes amiss.
Joe, I'm shocked. Joe McElderry here on the Jeremy Saller Show, BBC Radio Cambridgeshire. And there's more. Don't go anywhere. There's more from where that came from. Keep it tuned here on 96, 95.7 FM. Lots of questions from listeners. I couldn't possibly ask all of them, so my apologies if you did tweet or text in, because no exaggeration, there were hundreds of questions for Joe. And this was the song which started it all, the Miley Cyrus song, how she's changed, The Climb.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying, you'll never reach.
Now, the X Factor has been in the news today as Cheryl Cole announced that she's to return as a judge alongside Simon Cowell in the next series. Geordie Cheryl was, of course, mentor of the 2009 winner Joe McElderry, who plays the Cresset in Peterborough this Friday evening. And I asked listeners for their questions for Joe and was absolutely inundated. And it was local girl Mags in Whittlesford here in Cambridgeshire who got in touch initially asking, can you get Joe on your show? He's really great. I'm sure your listeners will love him. And her question was, how is Joe keeping fit and training for the Great North Run whilst being on tour?
Well, I've had 2 days off, yesterday and today, and I've been out for a run. I do a lot of running. Not only just for the Great North Run, but for the show. It's quite a high-energy show that I'm doing, so I need to be fit. And, you know, the last thing I want to do is finish a song and be really, like... I mean, I still am out of breath because I go a little bit crazy, but you don't want to be, like, embarrassingly unfit on stage, so it's important.
Actually, you talk about the physical element of your show. This is from Sue Rogers on Twitter. Joe loves dancing, she says. Are his dance moves all ad-lib, or are they choreographed before the tour starts?
Some are kind of just, you know, some are different every night, depending on certain songs. Some of them are a little bit choreographed, and some of them are fully choreographed. It just depends. But I'm one of these people that I absolutely love dancing, but when you start, like, firing loads of choreography at us, it tends to kind of, like, spoil it a little bit, you know? So I try and keep it, like, choreographed, but, like, as natural as possible. So a bit of both, shall we say.
All right, and you won X Factor, you won Pop Star to Opera Star, you won The Jump not too long ago. Do you enjoy the celebrity stuff on TV, or does it take you away from the music?
I enjoy it. I feel like when I do any of the kind of reality TV shows, I mean, obviously the first two were music-based, so that kind of didn't really take us away from music. The reason I wanted to do The Jump is I felt like you know, sometimes the press and media and the public like naturally have an idea of who you are by kind of by a 2-minute interview on TV, you know, and I kind of thought that with the jump, it would show kind of a totally different side of me personality, you know, and I'm quite a sporty person, which I don't think people probably realise. So I enjoy them in that sense that you can kind of, you know, show your personality a bit more in depth and allow people to get to know the other side that they don't see, I suppose, behind the cameras. And reality TV shows, they're really fun to film. They're quite grueling schedules, but I have so much fun filming that. Some people hate them and just can't like handle the whole camera there all the time and doing all of the interviews and stuff. I enjoy it all. I think it's quite fun.
And this is from Mona on Twitter. She says, ahead of this gig at the Crescent in Peterborough on Friday, will your new album be called Set Your Soul Alive? A lot of questions about, are we going to see a new album, any new music anytime soon?
Well, with this new show, there's brand new music in there. There's actually a track in the show called Set Your Soul Alive, which is why I call the tour that. There's about 2 or 3 brand new songs that people haven't heard before that I've written with a new album in mind. But the thing is you don't really know an album name until it's finished, you know, and I'm nowhere near kind of finished yet. I would say I'm only in the kind of writing and planning stages of it. But, you know, I do like the name Set Your Soul Alive, but I think because I've used it for the tour, it kind of might drag it out a bit too long if I named the album after it. So I would like to hope that song will be on the album, though.
And you're only 22. I mean, you sound a lot more mature than that. You've experienced a lot of life in such a short amount of time. Who keeps your feet on the ground, Joe?
I have a great set of people around us, like friends and family and management and everybody, and you know, we keep it real, as we see in Newcastle. But I think it's important, you know. I've had an incredible, like, it's nearly 5 years now since X Factor, and I've had an incredible 5 years, and I think the only reason that I've been able to kind of, you know, I've had some trials and tribulations along the way, but I think the only reason I've been able to kind of keep going and be passionate about what I do is because of the people around us, you know. So I'm very fortunate, and I genuinely just enjoy what I do, you know. I'm having fun. So that if I ever wasn't having fun, I wouldn't do it as a job, you know. That's kind of the reason I think it works, because I'm just enjoying it.
Well, your fans absolutely adore you. I've got a sense of that this afternoon, and it's been a delight to talk to you as well, Joe. We wish you all the very best. Enjoy the Crescent in Peterborough Friday night, and thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you. Pleasure. Have a lovely day.
And thank you for your questions. And again, I'm sorry if we didn't ask Joe yours, but there were simply just so many. What a nice guy. Joe McElderry performing at the Crescent then Friday night in Peterborough. And here he is, taking up to the travel next.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and